And a special good morning to you. Today at the race is presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with Keith Fustel. We normally start at noon, but getting an early start. Today it's Belmont Stakes Day. We have a big 12 race card. Our first race post time is going to be 12:35, and all eyes of the racing world up there at Belmont Park are, well, your Kentucky Derby and our Preakness Stakes winner Justified, trying to become the 13th Triple Crown winner. Baffert did it in 2015 with American Pharaoh. Do you think he can do it again today with Justified?
Yeah, I certainly think he can. I'm not really bothered by the rail position at all for him. I mean, I think he can take a stalking position if he likes. I just think he's got that stride, that turn of foot. He can use it anytime he wants and take advantage of that. And I think that's his biggest advantage over this field. Looking for a long shot. I was looking yesterday, maybe Blended Citizen for Doug O'Neill as a user underneath in your exactas and tries.
All right, we're talking about the Belmont. Let's show you what we have in store for you today here at Laurel Park. Special first race post time 12:35 for our 12 race card. Belmont will go off about 6:46. We'll have a full card simulcast from New York. Also, free Justified t-shirt with a program purchase while supplies last. So cool stuff there. Come on out here, get yourself a snazzy Justified t-shirt and a nice buffet as well. $45 buffet. That's going to go 1 through 5 here this afternoon. Our last race scheduled for about, let's see, 12th race today.
9 o'clock tonight.
Scheduled for about 6:20, 6:30. So you can spend our 12 race card and stick around, watch the Belmont right here at Laurel Park. So you like the Doug O'Neill horse, the Peter Pan winner, Blended Citizen.
Just kind of a new face, a horse that's improving. I mean, he got in a little trouble behind Good Magic, who obviously fits with these horses. Yeah, just looking for a little bit more value. I think Hofberg might be a little bit overbet. I mean, he ran well, credible in the Derby. Had some legitimate trouble in that race, but just looking for a little bit higher price underneath. And maybe Gronkowski, the way this world is, in the world of TMZ, Gronkowski will probably jump in there.
I like Bravazzo for the Preakness. I'm going to stick with Bravazzo, my pick in the Belmont today. The Stanley Cup came to Washington, D.C., the Caps are the Stanley Cup champions, and we have a cool picture from Preakness Week in our stakes barn. Good job there by our whole media relations team, Dave Joseph and company, getting the Stanley Cup to the stakes barn right on top of that Justify saddle towel. So the Caps won the Stanley Cup. Maybe it brought some good luck to the Justify saddle towel.
Good little omen there for us, huh?
Yep, good stuff. We need to have a day here for the Caps to celebrate that Stanley Cup, get the Stanley Cup maybe here to Laurel Park. Hockey fans are big horse racing fans. I remember back in the Bowie days, I had lunch one day with Pat Riggin, a former goalie for the Caps back in the 80s. Gaetan Duchesne, a bunch of Caps players back in the day were been big horse racing fans. So we'll try to get the Caps out here, celebrate the Stanley Cup. All right, let's show you the track conditions we have here today. Beautiful weather. There's the track. There's the main track, rated fast, and turf rated firm. So should be perfect conditions here today. 82 is the temperature, mostly cloudy, a little overcast, scattered thunderstorms maybe later on. Hopefully keep that rain out of here. Track's playing pretty fair yesterday.
It was. Turf course, you can pretty much come from anywhere. Dirt, maybe a little bit hedging towards speed. Be fairly close, turning for home within a few lengths. But all in all, I think pretty honest. And we've got a big card ahead of us today, and I think we've got some questionable favorites on this card. We saw value yesterday. We see the early pick 4, 4,600. Somebody hit that early pick 5 with Derek Joe or Derrico, $6,800. And even a late pick 4. If you followed along with us yesterday, I know our picks. If you were boxing our selections today, you had to make a good score. So and pretty much should have caught that late pick 4 with it, but just adding a couple here and there.
And they hit the rainbow pick 6 yesterday for about 8,200. So if you hit that, congratulations. Jump back in here today. Good luck to the Maryland bred, still having fun up there in the Grade 2 Woody Stevens at Belmont. That's going to be race 7, still having fun. A good second in the Chick Lang on Preakness Day at Pimlico for trainer Tim Keefe, who's based right here at Laurel Park. So good luck to Keefe and still having fun up there at Belmont today. Let's get right to it here. Race 1 has a nice carryover for you in the opener, that rolling super high 5. There it is, $2,157. That's going to start in the opener. 7-horse field here in race 1 for that super high 5. Also, race 1 kicks off your early pick 5. Both your pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. Always a mandatory payout here on the early pick 5 starting in race 1. Let's take a look at the opener. We're going a mile and a 16th on the bowl game turf course, rail at 17 feet. Nice group of maiden special weight runners, filly mares 3 and up, 7-horse field here in the opener. We both go with the 4 Dancing with Painter from the Cal Lynch barn. Georgie Vargas Jr. on this 3-year-old daughter of Painter. Forget about the race last out. That was coming off about a 4-month layoff, and that was a tough race. Draconic Treasure, who was second that race, would come right back to win. So, yeah, she was the beaten favored in that race, and she was the favorite based off her resume last year when she was a 2-year-old. A couple, make that 3 good outings going long on the turf, 2 right here at Laurel Park, and then a good 3rd up there at Aqueduct in December. I think she needed that race in late April here at Laurel Park. Now her second race as a 3-year-old. We're both going with the 4 Dancing with Painter here in the opener.
Checking the phone there yesterday in the Tremont.
Cal
Lynch,
yep.
Our brain trust. So congrats to the connections there. That horse was a really sharp debut winner here. Ridden out was a short comment to the wire and really kind of was determined down to the inside to get up. So congrats, Cal Lynch and company, for that win yesterday in the Tremont. Dancing with Painter got brushed a little bit at the break last time and then was taken to rate. I think this horse, her best action is going to be on the front end, and I don't see a whole lot of speed in here. She ran quick enough at 2, you said, Stan. I think she can go ahead with a good break. I like to see aggressive tactics for Vargas and go ahead and try to control it up front.
All right, there's a nice first-time starter in here from the Arnaud Delacour barn. They paid over $250,000 for this filly by Smart Strike out of a deputy minister mare, Daniel Centeno. That's Delacour's main rider. They're 31% together. Centeno takes the call. This filly will get a nice ground-saving trip from the inside. Some nice works down there at Aiken earlier this year, and some nice works up there at Fair Hill. So she'll be well prepared for the debut. She has to go 2 turns at first asking, but she's well bred and for strong connections here, the 2 Gotham Gala.
I need to go back and take a double check this when I looked at this stat, Stan, on the 2 Gotham Gala for Delacour. You know, he's only 1 for 13 the past 2 years with first-time starters on the turf in Maryland. I was shocked about that. I made this horse the favorite. You know, just really not a whole lot of legitimate form for the rest of these. You know, the money usually comes in on Delacour, but that stat's saying, hey, maybe we got a shot to beat this horse at a short price. I couldn't find a whole lot on the bottom side for turf breeding, but is half to a 4-time winner that was by Speightstown. That's all I could really find on Gotham Gala, but you got to respect the barn. If anybody can get a horse to win, going long early on in its career, it's Arnaud Delacour.
And you have the Motion filly in your exact emotion with a nice, impressive debut winner yesterday here at Laurel Park. Fergal Lynch rides this filly by High Chaparral. Had a useful debut going 1.25 miles on a yielding turf course 3 weeks ago up there at Belmont. So she should be dead fit going 1 mile and a 16th here on a firm turf course today.
Yeah, couldn't really get a whole lot off of that field as well. 1.25 miles first time out, yielding turf course. That's a lot to deal with. Shortening up in distance, a good ROI there, though, a positive ROI with this angle for Grand Motion with his fillies and mares. Second career start going long on the grass.
All right, so nice 7-horse field here. Maiden special weight going 2 turns on the bowl game turf course here in race 1 to kick off the action. The early pick 4 starts in race 2. It's a nice maiden claiming $40,000 for 3 and up. Going 1 mile on the main track. I go with the 6 on top, Platinum Pound here for trainer Kelly Rubley. Jevion Toledo will ride. And yes, this 3-year-old by Not for Love was the beaten favorite at this level 2 starts ago, late March here at Laurel Park. That was coming back after having a couple months off. A good second behind Crucelli that day, a game effort, and then had a little time off before that Pimlico race where the horse regressed a little bit there, but still ran an okay 3rd. She's been working well up at Fair Hill since that last race. Toledo will ride. I think today's the day for the 6 Platinum Pound to break his maiden.
Yeah, his run kind of fizzled last time out. He had dead aim at the quarter pole, but they were getting away with it slow up front. Platinum Pound, I think, is a user in your exotics, no doubt. Going to be an awfully short price. I'll go to the inside with the 1, Sonic Boom E-Jet. Willing right back here in 6 days, an excuse last time out sprinting. Now the bottom side is pretty much sprint. But, hey, we've seen Claudio get these horses to go sprint a route at a pretty good rate, close to 30% with a positive ROI. I'm going to give this horse one more shot, second time in the Claudio Gonzalez barn. Let's go ahead. Another horse I think will be right up close with the pace, and he's going to have to hold off the closers. Good luck, Jonathan, and Platinum Pound will be taking aim by the time they hit the quarter pole.
Yeah, Sonic Boom E-Jet just needs to break better today. Stumbled at the break last out in the slop. If he can break, well, Maryland bred by Orientate. If he can break well well today. Maybe they try to go right to the front, stretching out to a mile. Claudio Sprint around 26% with a positive ROI. So, all right, we both like the 1. I used a 3 here. Phantom Shot, first-time starter for Donnie Barr. This 3-year-old by Edge comes from a good family, I believe. Steve Hamilton rides. Some nice works here at Laurel Park. 3 nice half-mile works coming in to this race, including the last work, May 31st, 49-2. From the gate here at Laurel Park. He gets Lasix in debut. Stevie Hamilton had a win yesterday. I think the 3 Phantom Spot might be live here at 10-1 in debut.
Well, we know the half sib's a pretty good runner, Phantom Shot, but I like Phantom Shot. That found me going shorter. A mile at first asking, that's awfully tough. But the Lasix is on, and Phantom Shot is a runner, no doubt about it. So Phantom Spot, we'll see if he's as good as her. The 5, Good Luck Jonathan, the blinkers come off. 2 turf races, but the numbers have improved steadily for this horse. The barn doesn't take a whole lot of action, doesn't win a whole lot, but in this spot, Good Luck Jonathan is going to be a must-use, I think, underneath in the exactas. I'm not going to use this horse on top, but I think is a factor. A long way proven, can handle the distance.
I agree. I don't think he can win it, but gets a piece of it today here in the second. All right, let's take a look at the 3rd race. Nice race here in race 3, a 7,500 starter allowance for filly mares 3 and up, going a mile and a 16th on the Exceller Turf Course rail at 70 feet. I go with the 10 on top. We both like the 10 here. The 10 is Seeing and Believing from the Ricky Silliman barn. Kevin Gomez will ride this 5-year-old mare by Sightseeing. She's 3 for 5 in the money here on the Laurel Grass. A win, a 2nd, and a 3rd. And I think Silliman just kept this mare running during the wintertime just to keep her fit on the main track. But her best races are on the turf. You look at her last race on the turf at this level last September here at Laurel Park, a good 2nd that day, and a good 3rd here at Laurel Park last June. So she likes the turf. She gets back on the turf today with Kevin Gomez aboard.
This is what they need for this 5-year-old mare. Yeah, last year, her form wasn't great. It was okay on the dirt, and that turf race back in September really woke her up. A good number behind St. Mamie. I think it might have been a Kieran runner that went on to run okay in allowance. So Seeing Believing, last time out, okay, and even try a little freshening here. There is some speed to target. You've got the 8, I Dream of Lois. It's got plenty of speed. I think Seeing Believing gets first run on the closers. If she can kind of come anywhere close to that 7-8 back in September, she's a winner.
All right, and we both like the 9, Holy Scat. A big win coming off the layoff last out for this mare by Scat Daddy for trainer Kieran McGee. I was against Open 7,500, and those are tough conditions around here, and she fired a bullet coming off the layoff. Came from off the pace that day, won by 4 1/4, going away with Rosario Montanez aboard. Montanez back aboard today. I like the 9. We both like the 9, Holy Scat in here.
Yeah, she keys up on the way back with Kara's Nene, who was one of the key horses for the past couple of years in these kind of 75 claimers, 75 starters. Holy Scat came back fresh, laid a little bit closer to the pace. We talked about that last time. We liked her when she won. She can win right back. Montanez got along with her perfectly on May 11th. So, yeah, I think she's a user as well. Shift for Magician. 2 brutal beats. It's all you can say off the layoff from November to April, and comes back in May and just misses Declare's Dowry. I think Force Boys, the 11 post, not really a detriment at all. Can kind of draft over, settle, and make one steady progression.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, she always comes to get a piece of it, and she's 9. Let's see, a 9 for 18 in the money here on the Laurel Grass. You like the 5 in there, Desert Folly. I didn't use this 5-year-old mare for trainer Janet Polachek. Barn Chains today. Daniel Centeno takes the call. The filly's been a 5-year-old mare, has been running well down there at Tampa. Had a little time off since that last race late April.
Yeah, she makes her turf debut here at Laurel, but boy, does she like to win on the turf. 6 for 17, a 2nd, 2/3. Went back and looked. Okay fields on the turf that she beat, but that one horse, Viva Forever, 2 races back, has turned into kind of a monster on the dirt. So that's a respectable horse there. So Desert Folly, yeah, just proven turf form. Can she transition it to the Laurel Turf Course?
All right, so nice 7,500 starter allowance going 2 turns there in race 3. Guys, you're blasting us out here at the paddock. Maybe just turn it down just a little bit here. We'll be nice and comfortable. Let's take a look here at the 4th race, going 7 furlongs, 5,000 starter allowance for filly and mares 3 and up here in race 4. Scratch to 1, star 80. I go with the 6 on top. My price play here, the 6, Queen of Esther for trainer Jamie Ness. A nice big win off the claim for this 5-year-old mare by Roman Ruler. He got her for $5,000 last February at Parks. Gave her a little time off freshened her up, and she came back with a good win, a big win at 4-5 up there at Delaware. That was against 4,000, 2 life or two since to date, or two in a year. So, a lot of easier company than what she's going to face today. But I think Ness might have turned around this mare, has her in good form. Weston Hamilton will ride the 6, Queen of Esther, my top pick.
Yeah, interesting move. You claim, you freshen, you drop, you gallop against Softer. Is that enough, though? She's going to have to still step it up against this group. Yeah, I like Star Ready. She's out. Dorothy from Dublin's going to be my top selection. I like her at the 7 furlongs. I think she has a little bit of distance limitations. 7 furlongs is a perfect number for her. She was making a move into better, flattened out last time. Hanalei Sunset, the other frock horse, will go ahead and send. Maybe try to soften up any kind of speed. I think Really Striker will get a little bit of a jump on Dorothy from Dublin, but Dorothy from Dublin might be a little bit better price in here.
Yeah, Toledo aboard for Frock. Dorothy from Dublin loves the 7 furlongs. So does Really Striker and Proud Maid Marion gets Vargas aboard from Milan Milosevic. This 5-year-old mare, she's 4 for 4 in the money, going 7 furlongs, 2 wins, 2 seconds. So nice little starter allowance there in race 4. We have a video spotlight to show you Greeley Striker. Let's show you her last win, April 27th here at Laurel Park against Beaton 7,500 company.
Well, she's clearly the in-form horse, and this is for Dale Capuano. First off the claim today, but up the rail, has to steady pretty sharply there. Luckily finds some room leaving the 8th pole, and Greeley Striker rallies on between horses under a right-handed drive to go ahead, get command late, and go away at the wire. That's showing that the 7 furlongs looks okay for this 6-year-old mare. I think she's going to be pretty forward in here. There's not a whole lot of clear speed. Hanalei Sunset's kind of got some Charlestown speed, but she's not really super fast. So Greeley Striker, I think, will move right into the pace flow somewhere around mid-turn, and she's going to have to look in the rearview mirror, try to hold off Dorothy from Dublin.
All right, so nice little nickel starter for filly and mares there in race 4. Let's take a look at the 5th race. We kick off the middle pick 4 here in race 5. I know you like the middle pick 4 today. You have a ticket. Let's take a look, see how you played it.
A little $24 ticket for the middle pick 4. 2-5-10 to get you started. I think the Great Provider will bounce back. Last time out just got cooked in a speed duel on a little bit of ground that has a little bit more give in it. I think today is the speed of the speed. 2-5-10 in the 5th. 6th race, the 9 and the 14. Really like these 2 horses a lot. If you want to go 3 deep in there, throw the other Mary Epler in. Majestic Trick, the higher price Mary Epler. I like a little 3-horse exacta box in that 6th race. In the 7th race, 2, 5, 7, and 8, 4 deep there. Finishing it up in the 8th race with the 1 and the 2. Love You Much, going to be an awfully short price off of that last race. Can you believe the number? That's the key for him. A big jump up for Love You Much. $24.
All right, nice little middle pick 4 right here in race 5. Let's take a look. Race 5, we're going 5.5 on the bowl game turf course with the rail at 17 feet, claiming 15,000. 3 and up here in race 5. I go with the 10 on top here. You like the 10. Scouts Honor for trainer Kieran McGee. Julian Pimentel is going to ride this 9-year-old son of Tatr, a 2-time winner on the turf. And last race, it was a pretty good race against Open 20,000 company. Rallied that day to finish 3rd behind Fury of the Norsemen. Some good efforts on the turf last year. Nice win going 5.5 furlongs on the turf last August at Saratoga against Open 25,000 company. That'll be good enough against this company here today. I like the 10 Scouts Honor on top here in race 5.
Yeah, gets a crafty rider. Julian Pimentel, year after year, one of the better riders, just to kind of sit back, judge the pace, and make that run into
what
it.
He did with Trombetter's horse yesterday in the last.
Yes,
My brother's leg.
Exactly. Beat me out of a lot of money. I like Kukulkan in there. We couldn't quite get him home at 8-1. But no, Scouts Honor, the old 9-year-old, he's got, he can cover a little bit more ground on the grass. That's what I like. Second off of a layoff. Is he the last closer? You know what I mean? That last run. Because they're all going to be chasing the Great Provider. Posse Dreamin' against the wind. They're your chasers. I think he's got that legitimate run to maybe get up at the wire, but I think the Great Provider is clearly the one to catch. He's going to be my top selection. I just going to forgive that last race. He got cooked when he went out there with a very sharp runner and square shooter, one of the Englehart runners. Great Provider didn't break all that sharp, was caught wide, packed it in. Lacey Gaudet's done well enough with this horse off the claim. Comes back to 15,000. A realistic level is the one to catch.
Yep, I like the 2. Might have to withstand some pressure from the outside, breaking from the inside with that speed. But I like the 2. We both like the 5 here as well. Posse Dreamin' for Jamie Ness. Daniel Centeno on this 6-year-old. A good effort. Second last time on the turf. 2 starts ago behind Fury of the Norseman.
Yeah, he's a crack sprinter on the grass. That's all you can say about it. 5.5. He loves it. Fury of the Norseman keys up with Posse Dreamin'. Now the same race in Scouts Honor. Came back and ran okay. A little bit of trouble yesterday. Jumped up in class with that 2 other than. So, you know, they've kept the right company. Both of those horses, the 5 and the 10, really hard to separate, as is the 7 against the win. His biggest dose, he's coming off the layoff. That, as I've said time and time again, that doesn't really concern me with the grass races.
All right, so nice 9-horse field there. Turf sprint in race 5 to kick off the middle pick 4. Let's take a look here at race 6. Race 6, we're going a mile and a 16th on the Exceller turf course. Rail at 70 feet. 16,000 starter allowance company here in race 6. Never won 3. We have a video spotlight to show you on the 14, Mirth. Mirth is in good form right now for trainer Bernie Houghton. Nice win coming off the layoff last out with Forest Boyce aboard.
Yeah, watch this beautiful ride. Just goes ahead and says, all right, Speed, you want to go? Let's go. Mirth was a little keen early, but Forest Boyce got this 3-year-old filly to go ahead and relax nicely and never even panic. Let the other Speed go by her into the far turn, and you're going to see Mirth battle back. The resurgent move here, grabs command just about past the 8th pole to win ahead and go doggedly, switches leads there and wins the late duel. Gets up by a neck over Darcy May, who I believe was the favorite there and had a lot of good Tampa form. So Mirth, I'm not worried about the 14 hole in here. There's not a whole lot of quality speed. I think she'll go ahead, get position. Wins off the layoff, a big jump up in Byers. We're not going to get anything close to 18-1 today. And Bernie Houghton, he does even better work second time off of kind of a lengthy layoff. So Mirth is a must-use in the 6th.
I use her in my exact. I picked the 9 on top here in race 6. I go 9, 14, 6, 11. The 9, nice claim, I think, for Mary Epler. Expect a Kitten by Kitten's Joy. She got this filly for $16,000 last August here at Laurel Park in a big race first off the claim against $25,000 starter allowance company. That's a tougher race than what she's going to face today. If Epler has this filly ready to roll coming off the layoff, I think she'll be awfully tough with Caramanos aboard.
Yes, she's got 2 of these horses fresh. The 9, Expect a Kitten. The 3, Majestic Trick. Majestic Trick is going to go first off the claim. Has back numbers to go off. You look back last spring at Pimlico, only beaten a length and 3/4 in an A other than. That was Preakness weekend behind Canny. Canny came out of that race just missing the stakes. So the higher price Epler is the 3. You got to like that. I really like a 3, 9, 14 exact the box in here. Expect a Kitten, keys up well. Ran, was in front of Keep Your Distance. That's a 2 other than type of runner. This is a drop in class a little bit for the 9, Expect a Kitten. So 3, 9, 14, 9, 3, 14. Any way you slice it in the 6.
Man, Epler's going to be awfully tough. I didn't use the 3, Majestic Trick, but if she's ready to go off the layoff, she'll be awfully tough, just like the 9, Expect a Kitten. So nice turf route there in race 6. The 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 7 today. The late Pick 5 starts in race 8. I have a ticket for that. We'll take a look right after this.
In the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Either way, you win. Have a stake in the race with ExpressBet.
All right, welcome back. Today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 7 today. No carryover. They hit it yesterday for about 8,200, so congratulations if you're out there watching and you hit the Pick 6 yesterday. Let's take a look here at race 7. Just trust me, it starts here in race 7. We're going a mile, first level allowance contest, 3 and up. On my best bet of the day, the 5, Jump, Jive, and Whale for Mary Epler. The Epler barn going well. This 5-year-old, a good second last out in the slop on Black Eyed Susan Day at Pimlico. He likes this distance. Going a mile. He's a 2-time winner. He likes it here at Laurel Park, a 4-time winner here at Laurel. I'm going to go with the Maryland bred Jump, Jive, and Whale, my best bet of the day here in race 7.
Got a really nice ride last time. Just got run down. I had this horse on top, but enough is enough. The other Mary Epler gets it done. Mary's own horse, enough is enough. Jump, Jive, and Whale will have some speed to target in this race. Morning line favorite is the 8 Ballard High for Linda Rice. Kind of control things after coming down from Aqueduct and really had an easy trip last time out. I don't think it's going to be as easy, but this horse is in really good form right now, the 8 Ballard High. You've got Old Time Revival with speed. You've got Union Blues that likes to be close. I think Jump Jive and Will Sand is going to get a good trip. That's the 5 horse in race 7. My top selection going to be the 2, Moonlight Shadow. Rodney Jenkins with a winner yesterday. Got censured to win off of a layoff, going long. Great ride by Stevie Hamilton, taking back and settling and make a sustained 5-wide run. Moonlight Shadow just caught killers last time out. Legit and American Lincoln and Pimlico off of a layoff. I think this is fine. A little stat on Rodney Jenkins. Not a big sample, but 2 for 4 and 3 for 4 in the money. Second off of a layoff with dirt routers the last couple of years.
Okay, we're talking about race 7 right now.
Race 7,
the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 7, not race 6, race 7. There we go. I'm 5-8-2-7. Who do you have on top, the 2?
2. I'm going to go with Rodney with the 2-5-8-7, Moonlight Shadow, coming out of that really strong race, Legit and American Lincoln. They run some lights-out numbers prior to that last race.
How about the Shug McGahee horse coming off the long layoff, the 7 Lead Astray by Malibu Moon? We haven't seen him since this horse was a 2-year-old in the Grade 2 Remsen. Now he comes off a long layoff, first-time Lasix for the Hall of Famer Shug McGahee.
Lasix goes on out of a multiple Grade 1 winning mare in Smuggler. They've bided their time with this horse. So, yeah, Lasix goes on. Watch the board on that. I probably got the horse lined a little bit high at 8. If the money kind of just banging in there, 5-2, 3-1, I think you have to go ahead and use, especially starting your pick 6.
Yep. All right, let's turn the page here. I like the late pick 5. That starts in race 8 today. No carryover, but as always, that industry low. 12% takeout for the late pick 5. I have a ticket, a $32 ticket. Let's take a look here starting in race 8. I'm just going to go 2 deep here in race 8. The 1, Love You Much, at 7-5, and I also like the 7, Finbar, at 15-1, getting back to 5.5 on the turf. So going with a favored and a 15-1 shot here in race 8. I'll go 4 deep in race 9. That's a maiden 25, 2 turns on the Exceller turf course. I like the 6, 7, 11, 13 in there. Race 10's a nice 2 other than allowance, going 2 turns on the main track. We're going to see last year's Maryland Million Classic winner in there. Bonus points for trainer Todd Pletcher. I also like the Kenny Decker horse, the 7, Brighton Lane, with Daniel Centeno aboard. Race 11, a monster 3 other than allowance feature of the day, going 5.5 on the bowl game turf course. I like the favorite in there, the 4, Big Handsome, with Alex Centron aboard for Tony Dutrow, but I also like the 5, Miner's Quest. Ran a big race last out to win a 2 other than, now stepping up to the 3 other than today with Weston Hamilton. So 4-5 there in race 11. Then race 12, I'm going to go with the 2 first-time gelding horses, the 6, Federal Walk for Linda Albert, and the 8, Ticker Tape Parade for Timmy Keefe. Both of them, the 6 and the 8 in race 12, both first-time gelding. So there's my play, a $32 late pick 5 here starting in race 8. Let's take a look at race 8. 25,000 starter allowance, never won 3, 5.5 on the bowl game with the rail of 17 feet. We have a video spotlight to show you of the heavy favorite here, the 1, Love You Much for trainer Ferris Allen. A big effort coming off the layoff last out. Had to break from the 1 hole, and a good second with Edgar Prado aboard.
Yeah, and Shoe Love Shoe just went ahead and dominated this race. Opened up about 5 or 6 on the turn, widened to about 8 into the lane, and held sway late. But Love You Much, a big improvement. This is a shorter field and was able to get good position early. But, man, you got to like the finish of this horse. Game as could be, nearly getting there at the wire, only beating a length. By Shoe Love Shoe. Shoe Love Shoe came back on that sloppy track over Preakness weekend, didn't run so well. But, that number 81's kind of gaudy. Second off of a layoff, this type of layoff, the barn is 0 for 11. Now, I'm going to use the horse, but I'm going to use underneath. Tempt Me Twice will be my top selection. Coming back, wheeling back quickly, just ran June the 2nd. Got this horse on the lead, dueling inside of a couple of horses through okay internals on a good surface. Tempt Me Twice, I think, is better stalking and can go ahead and get that kind of trip with some speed to the outside if took over. Let's see Tempt Me Twice stalk, get the lead, and try to hold off the 1, Love You Much.
I've liked this horse for a while, Tempt Me Twice. Ann Merriman won the Maryland bred A other than. They were trying to win the Open A other than. They couldn't get it done. Now this will be the 3rd race back off the layoff this year, and it looks the horse is now going in for a tag for the first time. So he gets a little class relief here today. Hopefully that'll wake him up, get him in good form. He likes the Laurel Turf here. He's 8 for 14 overall in the money. Centron will ride I didn't use him. We'll see if he gets in good form here with the Class Relief. The 7 Finbar, you like this horse as well. A big effort at 58 to 1, 2 starts ago against 25,000 starter 2 Life. This race a little tougher. Forget about that tour de force there. I had to break from the 1 hole. Go at Pimlico on a good, maybe didn't like the good turf course, but maybe didn't like the 2 turns on the turf. Cuts back to a distance this horse has had success at.
Yeah, you got to like to try 2 back 58 to 1. You're not going to get that today. You should get 10, 12, 15 on Finbar. Not really a ton of established turf form when you look at it. Took over, goes first time off the claim for Lacey. The mare was 0 for 1 on the grass. None such. Okay, I guess, beating some 3-year-olds down in Florida. But love you much. I don't know where that race came from. It was well clear of Joseph. Joseph's a horse we've seen competitive in 2 other than, if I'm not mistaken, an optional 2 other than. So, love you much could be shorter than the 7 to 5. I'll go tempt me twice. But I like your little long shot in there, Finbar.
All right, we both like the 15 to 1 shot Finbar there in race 8. Let's take a look at race 9. Is going to start the late pick 4 today. We're going a mile and a 16th on the Exceller turf course rail at 70 feet here to start this late pick 4. Maiden claiming 25,000 3-year-olds and upward. I go to the outside here, the 11 Smetana for trainer Michael Match, 3-year-old son of Union Rags. This is a homebred for George Strawbridge Jr. of Augustin Stable. The debut against Maiden 25 at Pimlico. Nothing going well there. The horse did finish with a little interest that day. He stays at this level. Vargas, the top rider, takes the call. It's kind of a soft Maiden 25. I thought I'll take a shot with a price horse with the 11 Smetana.
Yeah, you've got the 6 in here. Major Attitude for motion. That could be in the range of 8 to 5, 7 to 5 when it's all said and done. Quick jam after 2 races for Maiden Special Weight. Ran okay, didn't run terrible. Now we're going to go transition to the turf. I couldn't find a whole lot on the turf. Foals combined for 0 for 10 on the grass. I'm thinking this is a decent horse to go ahead and try to beat. But I'm looking at the rest of the field. I couldn't find a whole lot of positives for anybody. So let's go to the outside with a horse that draws in the 14 Killer Kitten and Phil Schoenthal. All since almost about a year, right? June 30th of 17. Led till about 3/4 of a mile. Numbers good enough, 53. The rest of these horses aren't really coming close to that. So why can't Killer Kitten be fresh and go right to the front and take them? Old Click Paul's clicky right to the front and wire to wire.
Yeah, he does draw in off the AE, the 14, and he gets a big Class Relief in for the 25 coming off the layoff after those 3 Maiden Special Weight tries last year as a 3-year-old. He was bred to be a nice turf horse. Let's see if he gets in good form here as a 4-year-old on the Class Relief. The 7 here I have in my exacta. Pepperoncino here for Tim Woolley, 3-year-old by Narrative with some nice works up there at Fair Hill. Alex Cintron will take the call. I'll take a shot here with a first-time starter against Maiden 25,000 company.
Nothing but turf in that breeding. The Stallion by Sadler's Wells. Silver Hawk on the bottom. That's grass on grass on grass. So, Willie's usually been a pretty good constant with his grass horses, pretty good ROI trainer in Maryland the last several years, and catches a soft bunch. The 2 Shiitake, I'll throw into the bunch for Michael Arrow, only 2 for 41 in 2018, but when this guy strikes, he strikes at a big price. Both his horses today, I believe, are live. I'll toss the last at Cleveland at Keeneland, a little drop off of that race, off the claim. Uncle Mo's, they're about 17% on the grass. That's good enough for me to influence. Faced a couple good horses down at the fairgrounds. So.
And the barn a little cold this year, trying to get in good form. This is a well-bred horse by Uncle Mo, the 2 Shiitake there in race 9. Let's take a look here. Race 10, a couple nice allowance races here in this late sequence. Races 10, race 10's a 2 other than, going 2 turns on the main track, and then you have a nice 3 other than, 5.5 on the turf in race 11. Let's take a look here at the 10th race. A 2 other than, going a mile and a 16th on the main track. Let's take a video spotlight look. Bonus Points are last year's Maryland Million Classic winner. This was last October. This 4-year-old colt by Majestic Warrior hasn't won since then. Only a couple tries since then. Todd Pletcher has him in a nice spot, though, coming off a layoff today with Fergal Lynch.
Yeah, a little loop and swoop move, about 5 wide, turning for a home and just surges on by. That's when that bias was pretty strong to the outside, though, back in October. But beat a good field, a field that's better than this one when you really break it all down. And you look at his last race, Bonus Points, so you see him widening at the wire back in April. That was a 3 other than. So working the conditions the right way, that was a really odd condition when you broke it all down in that race at Aqueduct. But the faces clearly a softer bunch in here, a little freshening. Todd Pletcher, he reads the condition books, finds the right spots. So bonus points, I think, can rally into this. Although there's not a lot of real true speed. Hill Shadow showed a lot of speed last time. I could try to control it on the front end. Brighton Lane will be a factor too.
Yeah, what do you think of the 7 Brighton Lane? I used in my exact. A big good-looking win 2 starts ago here at Laurel Park. Went coast to coast that day against First Level Allowance Company. They tried the turf last out, no good. The horse is 0 for 2 on the turf, but now back to the main track. This horse is 7 for 9 in the money here at Laurel Park with a couple wins. Kenny Decker going turf to dirt. He's 27%. I think the 7 Brighton Lane, he's going to have something to say about the early pace in this race at least.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to go ahead and be used to get position when you look at it. I mean, Hill Shadow, who was pretty much kind of a stalker, one-run sprint type, all of a sudden showed a lot of speed on the off-track at Pimlico, got tied up in a duel. They pounded this horse down a lot more than what I thought and was ultra game. But the only time they tried to stretch this horse out on the dirt, kind of faded a little bit late. Right. Maybe those two get tangled up on the front end, bonus points, circles, and gets it done. I think you also have to use Mary's horse. Enough is enough.
Sure, and how about the 6, My Cousin Lou? My Cousin Lou scored at a nice price against First Level Allowance Company. I remember I didn't use the horse that day. Knocked me out of a ticket. We got an 81 buyer with that win back in April, but tried 2 other than Company up in Pennsylvania last couple starts. My Cousin Lou with Toledo might be a factor coming late.
Yeah, he's kind of a grinder. Will he need things a little bit hot and heavy up front? I do believe so.
All right, race 11's our nice feature of the day. It's a 3 other than allowance, optional claiming 32,000, going 5.5 furlongs in the bowl game. Turf course rail at 17 feet here. This race kicks off the late daily double. We're all over the place here in the feature. How about the 4? Big Handsome. I use on top for trainer Tony Dutcho, 4-year-old colt by Street Balls. Got very good last year on the turf. Won 3 in a row at Gulfstream and then two in a row sprinting on the turf up there at Belmont. A good third going 2 turns against Grade 2 Company at Saratoga last August, and then a good second going 3/4 on the turf last September. So those races were all pretty good. He kind of fell apart. He ran a good third in that race last October. The race coming off the layoff, though, his 4-year-old debut was on a soft turf course at Keeneland against Grade 2 Company. He didn't have the best trip. You see he was jostled between horses. So I think second off the layoff, Centron will ride. I think Dutcho's going to have this horse ready to go, the 4 Big Handsome.
Yeah, looking at it, really one of the better 3-year-old turfers last year. Yeah. I mean, he's right there with Yoshida. Yoshida only won the Grade 1 Turf Classic Derby Day, right? So he's up against the right kind. Dutro bringing this horse in, I think he's going to get a good position, good stalking trip, and it's going to be an awfully short price. I'm going to try to beat him, though. I go inside with Grande Flora. What is Claudio claiming this 7-year-old Maryland bred for trainer Robert Bone? The owner-trainer combination has been strong. We've seen Grande Flora run some pretty good sprint races. And blinkers back off. That was a late equipment change this morning for the one Grande Flora. So you look back on the page, yes, closing against those types, the English Minister, Spartianos, the Flash Phelps. Maybe the barn change is all it's needed to wake up Grande Flora. I like the flow up in front. Square Shooter's awfully quick. Big Handsome's going to lay fairly close, take cover as quick as is Spartianos, and uplifting. So the flow's going to be there for Grande Flora.
All right, yeah, Claudio's 36% first off the claim. Blinkers off on the 1 Grande Flora I didn't use. I do like the 5 Miner's Quest. I think Howard Wolfendale has this 7-year-old in top form right now. He just ran his lifetime best here at Laurel Park. That was late April. He's had some time to freshen up since then. Weston Hamilton back aboard. This horse 7 for 12 in the money here on the Laurel grass with a couple wins. I think the 5 Miner's Quest going in the right direction right now. The Wolfendale's had this horse for a long time. They've made a bunch of money with him. I think he's never been better than right now.
I really like this race. It's a spread race, no doubt about it. But you're getting the value. Can we beat this 4 horse? You've got him on top. Going to be awfully short. Square Shooter, I like him. He's kind of the now horse. So look at these last 2 races he's run on the page. Tried the turf in its turf debut 2 back, awfully good behind your horse Miner's Quest, and then just galloped Preakness weekend on the slop. So take cover. He's another one. You go to the outside. They're going to stay with this 6-year-old. He's coming back off another freshening, and all he does is run well fresh.
Yep.
Is he going to have that finish, though? I don't mind little layoffs, as we talked about on turf. He's going to make a move into it, but, boy, he's going to have some horses breathing down his throat once they pass the 16th pole.
Goldberg's 24% coming off the layoff. I've liked this horse for a while. He's very talented. A win, 2 seconds from 3 starts here at Laurel, but he was 0 for 5 last year with a bunch of lines in his form. So I took the wait-and-see approach here for the 8-take cover, but a nice allowance feature of the day, going 5.5 on the bowl game, and race 11 to kick off the late daily double. Let's take a look at the 12th and final race. We're going 5.5 on the Exceller, rail at 70 feet, maiden claiming 25,000, 3 and up. I like both first-time geldings in this race, the 6 Federal Walk, and I go with the 8 Ticker Tape Parade on top, coming off a layoff for trainer Timmy Keefe. It took Keefe a little while to figure this horse out last year. They were going long on the turf, dirt, and then he got this horse for 25,000 last May at Pimlico. When they cut him back in distance last October at this against maiden 16,000 level, went to the front that day. That was second-time blinkers for first-time blinkers sprinting on the turf. Went to the front that day, got a little tired, finished a good 4th, and then forget about that dirt race in November. He's fresh and ready now as a 4-year-old. He's a first-time gelding. I think Keefe has him figured out. He'll get a nice trip on the outside with Vargas in the saddle.
Yeah, the blinkers went on and the speed came on. All of a sudden, this horse was able to go, work through 22 and change opening quarters. Looked home free in that race back in October. Got a little weary late, but the first-time gelding is a user, no doubt about it. The 6 Federal Walk, interesting move off of an debut. Wasn't horrendous. Behind Still Having Fun. Had a little trouble against the grain of the racetrack. Now we drop. No protect move, but you look at the Damn Noble Bandit was 4 for 13 on the turf. So the 6 Federal Walk for Linda Albert looks pretty good here as well, first-time gelding. I go to the outside with the 9, Joe Show for Michael Arrow. We talked about him earlier with a horse we like, Shiitake. I like the breeding here, the hat tricks, 15% with the turf sprinters over the last couple years with a positive ROI. You look at the mare going to Cucaro by Spitestown. They can run on anything. She was 2 for 6 on the turf, was quick, made 119,000, ran in the mid-80s. I think Joe Show is a very live first-time starter, gets a good draw to the outside.
I overlooked him. This barn might wake up today. He's coming into the end of the day a little cold. 2 for 41, but he has 3 live horses in today. So maybe he wakes up and has a good day today here at Laurel Park. That's it. We're out of time. Big 12 race card for you today. We're giving away a free Justified T-shirt if you come on out here, buy a program while supplies last. First race post time, 12:35. Good luck to you today.
No, I'm ready, man. I'm locked and loaded. Made a couple bucks yesterday. I'm ready to just throw it right back.
All right, okay. We do have Tim Tulloch and I talked about our Belmont Stakes picks. Let's show you that video. And then Dave Robin coming up after that with today's scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.
This Saturday at Belmont Park, all eyes of the racing world are going to be on the undefeated Justify, trying to become our next Triple Crown winner and the second Triple Crown winner for Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert. Tim, he did it in 2015 with American Pharoah. Do you think he can do it again this year with Justify? And if not, who's your pick in the Belmont Stakes?
Oh, I think he can do it with Justify, and Justify is my top pick for this year's Belmont to become your 13th Triple Crown winner and only your second undefeated Triple Crown winner in history. Justify has that high cruising speed, just like Secretariat, Seattle Slew, Affirmed, and most recently American Pharoah, which is perfectly suited for the 1.5-mile Belmont Stakes. He'll get to the lead from the rail and get the job done and gallop into history.
All right, Justify is going to be awfully tough to beat. He beat Bravazzo in the Preakness, but I'm going with Calumet Farms Bravazzo to pull off the upset in the Belmont. Nobody was running faster and more determined in the final strides of the Preakness than Bravazzo, so I'm going with Bravazzo, going 1.5 miles. I think he'll like the extra distance for the Hall of Fame trainer D. Wayne Lucas. So Bravazzo, my pick in the Belmont Stakes. Hope you can join us here at Laurel Park this Saturday for Belmont Day. We have a special first race post time at 12:35, 12 live races in total, and we're going to give you a free Justified T-shirt with a program purchase while supplies last. We'll see you here this Saturday at Laurel Park.